Hello, everyone. My name is Emily Tonneson, and I would like to welcome you to the sixth episode of Designed by Kelly's podcast, Coffee Chats with Kelly. Today, we are joined by AJ Hack. She's a spokeswoman for Mothers Against Cancer from the Kingwood and Lake Houston area. Mothers Against Cancer is a nonprofit foundation made up of all volunteer women from the greater Houston area who have raised funds for the cancer unit at Texas Children's Hospital since 1989. We are so thankful that they're speaking with us today about their annual Christmas luncheon, their golf tournament, and so much more. So grab your coffee and join us. Without further ado, I would like to welcome the founder of Designed by Kelly, Kelly Thomas.
Thank you, Emily, and welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us today. We are excited to be here today with AJ for Mothers Against Cancer. As Emily said, since 1989, Mothers Against Cancer has been raising money and donating to Texas Children's Hospital for pediatric cancer research. I have been working with Mothers Against Cancer for a little over a year now on several graphic design projects, as well as having the privilege of designing their golf tournament website, which is one of their yearly fundraisers. Today, we asked AJ to join us to talk a little bit more about the nonprofit, as well as their upcoming 34th annual luncheon fundraiser, Marching Towards a Cure. AJ, to get us started today, could you take a minute, just tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got started at Mothers Against Cancer, and what you do as a volunteer for the organization?
Yeah, definitely. I'd be happy to. So my name is AJ, and I joined Mothers Against Cancer in 2019. And I had previously heard of the organization because I knew that it was a wonderful nonprofit group of local women here in the Kingwood, Lake Houston area. And they did a lot of fundraising for childhood cancer research, which really spoke to me because I like to say that I am a mother against cancer. My son is actually a cancer survivor. He is now 5 years cancer-free. And so when I was looking for an organization to become active with, I knew that Mothers Against Cancer would be a great fit for me because of all the fundraising they do. And I love that the monies that they raise go directly to research so that we can find a cure for every childhood cancer. So that's their goal. And that's what really resonated with me. And that's why I decided to join in 2019. I was just a regular member of the organization. And in 2020, I actually joined the board of Mothers Against Cancer, and I've been on the board ever since. And my role with the organization is kind of like a community liaison role. So I kind of keep the organization abreast of what's going on with other nonprofits in the area. There's a lot of other childhood cancer research nonprofits in our area, as well as throughout Houston. And I keep Mothers Against Cancer kind of in the know of what these other groups are doing, as well as I help us participate in September events. September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and that is my largest role in the volunteer group, is keeping us involved with Gold Fight Win, which is kind of a collaboration with some other nonprofits where we all come together for the month of September to raise awareness about childhood cancer through our local school district. And so that's just a little bit of what I do. Serving on the board, I also help plan our events and just keep the organization running. But my primary role is community liaison.
It's nice to meet you and learn so much more about you and your role in the nonprofit. Can you start off our episode by basically explaining to us what the main goals of Mothers Against Cancer is?
Sure. Yeah. Well, the main goal of Mothers Against Cancer is to raise money for research. And so we also provide support to families in other ways. A couple of times a year, we go down to the Texas Children's Cancer Center and Hematology Center, and we do give gift cards for parking tokens, as well as we also honor children and their families at our annual luncheon who have been fighting this disease. But our primary goal and the reason that we're all here is to help fundraise a significant amount of money so that we can do more research to find a cure for cancer.
That's really awesome. And when and how did Mothers Against Cancer partner up with the Texas Children's Hospital?
Mothers Against Cancer has been partnered with Texas Children's since their first year, 1989. So every year, the money that they raise has gone to research at that facility.
Gotcha. Okay. And can you tell us how much money you have raised and some specific areas that it goes to?
Yeah, so over the years, so since 1989, we've raised almost $8 million. I think it's like 7.8 million or somewhere around there. So almost 8 million. And it varies each year what they're researching. You know, we do have a good relationship with the director of donors with Texas Children's, as well as some of the doctors that are leading the research at Texas Children's. And they, of course, let us know what their primary needs are in the research and where our money goes. But it really varies year to year. So, you know, sometimes they'll take our lump donation and they'll put it all towards one specific thing. I know there were a couple of years where they were studying like the toxicology of chemotherapy on a child's heart. You know, because when a cancer patient receives chemotherapy, it gets put into their body and pumped through their own heart. So their own heart really becomes the pump. And with a pediatric patient, that's a very young heart. It's a young muscle that is being introduced to a lot of toxins. And so they wanted to study and find out, you know, how they could do less damage to a child's heart while they're undergoing chemotherapy. And that one, I know we contributed to that for a few years. And there was also some studies on immunotherapy, just whatever it is that they're researching at Texas Children's, it can go to any of it. Anything that they're researching for a cure for pediatric cancer, it just depends on what they're researching at the time and what needs they have financially.
That's really nice to hear. I really appreciate you guys for doing that. And how often do you hold fundraisers?
So our organization really has two large fundraisers, one in the spring, and that is our golf tournament. And then we also have our annual event that we've held every year since 1989 is our Christmas luncheon. And the holiday luncheon, if you have not been, you have got to check this thing out. We hold it at the Humble Civic Center. It's catered, the food is delicious. We have live entertainment. We have a silent auction raffle. We have a live auction. We have a heads or tails. And we always have one wonderful honoree, a child from the area who's fighting cancer. And his or her family attends. And it's just a really amazing event that we put on. It's always the first Monday after Thanksgiving. And that's really our big fundraising event. Last year, that event raised $530,000 just from that one luncheon. So it's really, it's an incredible event. And if you've never been, I just encourage you to check it out because it is just unlike anything you would imagine on a Monday afternoon at the Humble Civic Center, and we'll raise over $500,000 for childhood cancer research. It's incredible.
That honestly sounds really great. I would love to check that out someday. And thank you so much for joining us today. I sincerely appreciate all the work that you have done. And now I'm going to pass it on to Kelly. Did you have some questions for AJ?
Yeah, so I've enjoyed our working relationship and getting to know a lot more about Mothers Against Cancer and what y'all do. So tell me a little bit, how's your experience been working with us? Do you feel we've been a benefit to you?
Yes, yes. I think that, you know, being in a nonprofit such as ours, we're an all volunteer organization. And even though we have 63 volunteers, we don't have volunteers with the skill set that Kelly has. And so that's where it has been really pivotal for us to be able to hire someone like Kelly to do the designs for us, to make you know, make our graphics really pop, kind of give us more of a presence so that we just look more polished so that we can continue to grow. So it's been very helpful. We're super thankful.
Well, we appreciate that. We're always glad to hear that. So what would you say to a nonprofit who's never worked with a graphic or web designer who's afraid to take that leap?
I think I would tell nonprofits that it is so worth the money that they're going to spend to work with a professional graphic designer, because the work that Kelly has done for us just gives us a whole different look. We look so much more polished and pulled together, and the money that we have allocated to her helping us with our graphic designs, I know we are recouping that at our events because we're attracting a new audience, we're engaging with people in different ways, and I know that it's going to have a positive impact and grow our fundraising.
Yeah, absolutely. That's our hope. So right now you're getting ready for the 34th annual luncheon in December. You were just talking a little bit about. So can you tell people how they can get involved in that and support Mothers Against Cancer?
Yeah, we'd love for you to support Mothers Against Cancer. If you're in the area, if you're in the Lake Houston area, you can come to the event. It will be on Monday, December 5th. It's always the first Monday after Thanksgiving. And you can bring your credit card and you can buy lots of raffle tickets and maybe you'll win an awesome prize. If you're not in the area, you can always go to our website, mothersagainstcancer.org, and you can donate right there through our website. We always need corporate sponsors. If you work for a large company or a small company and you want to provide a sponsorship to us for our event and help offset the costs of putting on the event, and then you'll be mentioned in all of our graphics and all of our brochures and on our website and all of that. So we love to have more sponsors that could help us with the event.
And you have a auction, correct? Is it live and silent?
Yes, yeah. So our silent auction is really incredible. We have some smaller trips. We always have some high dollar items on there. Last year we had a pair of e-bikes. We've had an Apple Watch out there before. Really interesting kind of meet and greet type things, nice tickets to, a Broadway show or something really special. And then we also have a live auction that is done by a live in-person auctioneer at the event. And those are always really very nice trips. So we've had, 5-6 day trips at some vineyard in France and airfare included, and, 8 nights down at some private castle in Mexico. I mean, really, really nice trips. So these are the kind of, once in a lifetime type packages. So bring your credit card on down and get one of those, because the live auction is really, really special. And we always have a puppy. And if you're looking for a puppy, you can come on down and you can get a puppy. And it's so funny because sometimes we have, some gorgeous purebred, and sometimes we just have an adorable mutt, but they both are good money makers for our organization because everybody wants that Christmas puppy.
You mentioned this a little bit earlier, but every year you have an honoree. So how does that process work? How do you choose somebody? And can you tell us who your honoree is this year?
Oh yeah. So our honoree this year, he's a wonderful young man. His name is Brigham. And Brigham is a senior in high school. And, he was diagnosed with cancer during high school. So he really had a lot of struggles throughout his treatment. He missed a lot of his sophomore and junior year. And then he rang the bell to finish his treatment in January of this year. So he's about, 11 months out of treatment by the time we have him as our honoree. And he's just a really wonderful young man. Brigham is very musically talented. He is involved in our community. I know he's involved with his church. He's very family focused. He just has a really great outlook on life. And I've gotten to know him personally, and I'm just very impressed with the caliber of person that he is. And so he will be our honoree this year. And we're just thrilled to have him. He's just a really terrific young man. And then he'll be heading off to college after this.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yes.
So I know Emily and I both have a very close family member in the last few years who have battled cancer. So this is something that's very close to both of our hearts for sure. And we were excited to be able to do this podcast with you today. And we're proud that we were able to be a small part of your organization through what we do. Emily, do you have any other questions?
I do have one more question. I was wondering, how can people outside of the Houston area get connected with you guys and start getting involved with Mothers Against Cancer?
Great question. So we are on Facebook and we do post regularly all the events that we have going on, as well as we have our website, mothersagainstcancer.org. And so on Mothers Against Cancer, we update the different activities that we're doing, whether we're doing a hospital visit, whether we're planning for our golf tournament, if you want to check out what's going on with our luncheon as we make preparations for that, and just other events that we have within our organization throughout the year, we'd like to share that. You can sign up for our monthly newsletter through our website, and we send that out with photos and links of all the things that are going on right here in our organization and in the area. And if you visit our website, you can buy tickets to our luncheon. You can become a sponsor for the luncheon. We're always looking for sponsors for the golf tournament, even though it's looking forward in May. We always need sponsors for that as well. So there's lots of ways for people to get involved. Even if you can't come to our events, we'd love for you to follow us on social media and subscribe to our monthly newsletter and just visit our website and get to know more about us.
Yeah, that sounds great. Thank you so much for meeting with us today. I'll definitely be checking that out.
Great.
Thank you, AJ, so much for joining us for today's podcast. We invite you to visit our website, designedbykelly.org, to check out our portfolio and to find out how we can change your nonprofit or small business for good. We also invite you to visit our Canva template shop to find all of our free resources and Canva templates to get your design journey started. And please take a minute to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you never miss an episode of our podcast. Thank you so much, and we hope you join us for the next edition of Coffee Chats with Kelly.